Hello, everyone. It should be. Am I live? Yes, I'm live. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our next online tasting, which is this time Craft Rums. Make myself a little smart with my glasses. I think everyone's had a link today, so I don't think there's any issues of people struggling to find us. I'm quite happy we went with YouTube again, because just looking at the notification if and be live, they've stopped their Facebook streaming today because of an outage on Facebook. So that's just as well that we aren't broadcasting on Facebook today. Yeah, everyone's here. As you guys are coming in, as always, if you can just drop a comment. Perfect, Al, thank you, just to let you know that you're in here okay. And yeah, so this one is Craft Rums, essentially from the UK. We have got three different guests on today, which is usually we always go at least one or two minimum, but to have three is fantastic. So really appreciate these guys giving up their time this evening. Great selection of rums. So you should have, just as general, I mean, everyone I think I sent sets out to, you're all kind of aficionados at this point now, but you should have your tasting glass. We did ask you to get some ice and have a lime, and I believe Jess sent out a last minute message today about having some Coke if you do have it. It wasn't imperative, but if you do have it, then you can obviously just use that when asked. I know we had a guy buy a set late yesterday, so he should be joining us as well. So I'm hoping you got my message earlier today about that, because I completely forgot when I sent you the link yesterday. You'll also have in your set, so you have labeled 1, 2, and 4. Then there's a branded bottle from Wooden Mousse, and there's an unlabeled bottle. So the unlabeled one is basically a little bit of martini sweet vermouth, which you're going to be using later. And what we initially thought we'd do is we'd do 1, 2 Wooden Mousse and then 4, just to give you guys advance so you don't kind of jump the gun. Because we don't have a guest from Wooden Mousse today, we don't want to have our colleague waiting right to the end to do number 4. So we're going to swap those last two around. So you'll be doing 1, 2, 4, and then we'll do that branded bottle of Wooden Mousse at the end. So, I mean, Jas will obviously explain again as we go along, but just so you know ahead of time, that's what we'll be doing. And I believe that's it. So I will bring Jas on, and then we can get going, and he can introduce the first guest. And yes, enjoy, have some great rums. Let me just click this for Jas. Cool, hello.
Hello.
Oh, actually, just quickly before we get going, just so we still have the gin tasting. So if any of you guys are interested in gin, there's tickets still on sale until Tuesday for that. That's been quite popular. And on Monday we'll be releasing the next whiskey. Actually, possibly 2. So possibly 2 whiskey tastings that will be released for tickets. And I believe that will be it for now until further notice. But that was it. Right, I'll let you get on with it, Jas, and let me know when you're ready for Marcus, and I'll bring him in.
Cool. Hello, everyone. So I think this is our first actual rums from UK brands. We've done, other rum tastings in the past, and they have been a mixture of, rums from traditional sort of rum countries. But today we've got all UK-based brands, so it's going to be quite interesting, quite different to see what they've done, how they've done it, and the different flavors that we're experiencing. So thank you all for joining us tonight, and probably a perfect, well, not quite, but it's been a bit nicer today, so a good night for drinking some lovely quality rums. And thank you to our guests also for joining us and talking about these rums as we go through them. So I think we should just jump straight in. There's no point in me telling you about rum at the moment. We may as well start trying it and hearing the stories from the actual brands that are joining us tonight. So I guess we should be joined by the brand ambassador for Mad City Rum. He's based currently in London right now. His name is Marco. Hey, hello. Marco, how are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Really happy to be here.
Excellent. No, thanks for joining us. Thanks for taking your time out.
My pleasure, absolutely.
So this is our first one tonight. This is bottle number 1, and it looks like this. It's a very, very cool looking label indeed. So you can maybe talk us through some of that as well, and about Mad City and where it originates and what you guys do.
Sure. So I work for Foxhole Spirits. We produce Mad City and a few other spirits. The ethos of the company is to make really good quality spirits using as much as surplus produce as possible. So when we can, we get surplus produce from supply chain of food and drinks, basically, either supermarkets or sometimes a wine grower, UK wine grower. So talking about Mad City, we can start having a little sip already while I'll talk you through the product. So Mad City is a botanical rum, meaning that we fair trade Caribbean rum from 4 continents, the Barbados, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, and Guinea. So those fair trade rums are then blended in the UK, and we redistill that blend with our own botanical recipe. And again, those botanicals, as much as we can, we get them from their surplus produce, basically.
Because Foxhole is all about the sustainability and so on, isn't it?
Exactly. And also, first of all, it's good quality spirits. That's what we try to do. So for Mad City Rum, we want to do something really, really funky, really, really fun. For us, rum is fun. So hence the label as well. But if we try first on the nose, you have a kind of sweetness, sugarcane molasses on the nose right away. Sugarcane being a byproduct of sugar refinery is a perfect match for us. So that's why we choose those rums.
Mm-hmm.
You have quite a lot of sweetness from the molasses and a hint of spiciness as well.
Yeah.
From the botanical. Then if we try neat, it's very, very smooth. A hint of soft mocha, I would say. Hint of cacao, a hint of coffee, which has 2 of the botanical that we use. Then it's kind of have a long finish, quite tropical.
Yeah.
A bit of coconut, a bit of pineapple.
On the nose, I was definitely getting that lovely coconut and orange, zesty orange. I was struggling to find the cocoa, but other people might get it.
Yeah.
But the nose was fantastic. The nose was absolutely amazing, and really creamy. Right? There's a lot of there's a lot of viscosity in there.
Yeah, it's quite oily, quite creamy, as you said. But it's for me, what is important is well balanced. There's not something that overpowder something else. It's it gives a quite overall very smooth experience, really.
Yeah.
Very, very.
And that on the palate is very long, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very long.
Quite long finish, which is a sign of good quality booze, basically. Whatever from wine or spirits, a long finish is always good.
Yeah, and I'm just now getting that sweetness also on the tip of my tongue. It's just now tingling away. That must be, I don't know, what is that? Coconut is actually in there? Like you
coconut,
what have you done?
Coconut, papaya, cherry, lime. It's definitely in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it just keeps like Miss Finger says, it keeps going. It just keeps it's so good.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite very well developed for a white rum. There's lots of going on. It's well balanced, lots of going on. Long finish. Yeah, sometimes I like to drinking on ice with just orange peel.
Yeah,
for me it works well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's amazing because I think a lot of people might think, well, a white rum, it's probably quite, kind of one level. There's not much depth to it, but this really sort of shows you what you can get from a really good white rum.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we wanted to achieve with a botanical rum. Then, if you want to talk about the label a little bit, we commissioned a graffiti artist. It's called Sled One. You got his signature right at the back here. It's an urban artist based in Bristol, which we commissioned our label for. And as you can see, you use a little bit of carnival colors.
Yeah.
It's very urban, quite contemporary. You got a net. You got a hole of the net there represent the hole where the fox, we call foxhole, so where the foxes go and do their stuff. Also, the graffiti artists at night, they go and do their business.
Yeah.
You got some sugarcane here, high, which is quite futuristic. Yeah, it come out with some really cool design. We liked it so much that we made some prints as well. There it is.
Oh, very cool.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it works really well on the print as well.
That's amazing. Yeah, it looks so cool, doesn't it? Really good.
Yeah.
Very funky.
Yeah, it did a really good job.
So we tried it neat, right? And I think a lot of people would probably agree that it's already an amazing rum, and you could just have it on ice, as you say, lime or orange or something like that to garnish with. But actually, we're gonna do one of your classic serves with it.
Fantastic, absolutely. So what I'm proposing to do is I'm gonna make you the Met City Solstice.
So everyone, this is where other people will get involved. So guys, you've got some ginger ale, you hopefully should have some ice, and the mystery bottle in your set, which is that little bit of vermouth that we've packed in there for you. So this is where you're going to get all of that now, and copy Marco as he explains how to build it.
Exactly. So I have my tall glass. I have a little bit of red vermouth or vermouth rosso. I'm gonna just put just a splash. In theory, it should be 10 milliliters, but just a splash of vermouth, that will do, right there in the bottom. Then I'm gonna fill up the glass all up to the top with the ice to keep it nice and chilled. As in general, for Met City works really well with any rum-based cocktail, really. Whether it's daiquiri, a mojito, just a rum and coke. If you find some, especially some really good cola, or rum and ginger beer. It works for any kind of rum-based cocktail.
Yeah.
So we're gonna quickly fill up the glass of ice right to the top. The more ice, the less dilution. Then Met City rum, 40 milliliters. Here we go.
So guys, your ratio might only be half of that, so you might only want to put about 20 ml for the amount of vermouth that you have.
Yeah, correct. Then ginger ale, good quality ginger ale, or your favorite brand. Gonna fill it up. There we go. You can see the lovely color.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then garnish with a nice lime.
Beautiful.
Right there.
Beautiful. It looks amazing. I'm sure it tastes amazing. I'm gonna have to try it. So Nick, the unmarked, I bet. So there was a little question. The unmarked bottle, Nick, is the vermouth. That's the vermouth that Marco poured in the glass at the very start, right? So vermouth, then loads of ice. Pour your 20 ml of Mad City or 40 ml if you're making a proper serve, and then top up with ginger ale and your lime wedge.
Exactly. It's a great summer drink, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, let me know if it's good, what you like, you know, what it tastes like. So so it works with any rum, but this particular serve is, you know, originated or came up with the rum in particular, or
It's our own twist of Dark and Stormy. Really, that's where we got our we got inspired by that cocktail, the Dark and Stormy. So yeah, I love ginger ale in general, especially a good quality one. It's not too sweet. It blends really well with the rum.
Yeah.
And then if you put a little bit of sweet part, which is the red vermouth, and a little bit of citrusy from the lime,
Yeah.
it balances out really well.
Yeah.
It's a good summer drink.
Yeah. So do you, and also some people are saying it tastes absolutely amazing, really fresh. So yeah, you're right. It's just the perfect summer drink, right? Do you filter the product? Does it get any color while you're doing anything with it, adding stuff to it, or do you just distill it and bottle it?
Yeah, that's a really good point. So Med City is a botanical rum, meaning that it's not infused, it's not spiced. It's a botanical rum. Nothing is added after a distillation.
Okay.
Just water in order to bring down the ABV to 40%. It's
Yeah.
a brand new category. Yeah, it's been around. It's been a really small niche for a few years now, but slowly is growing. So yeah, nothing is added to after distillations apart of spring water.
Spring water, yeah. So all that flavor is in the distillate itself.
Exactly.
And you use the same still for your gin, or you have to use a separate still?
Oh yeah, so it's a pot still that we use for distillation, but the Caribbean rum, they're all made from column still, except for the Jamaican one that is pot still.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Jamaica. Yes, no classics pot still.
A little bit of funky rum from Jamaica.
Yeah. Which is always the way, right? You need that Jamaican just to add a bit of that spice in there. You know, that bit of punch.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they're really good. And you know what? The longest. So mine's been sitting there, you know, for what, the last 15 minutes or so since we poured it out, and it just really develops. The nose develops. And now I'm getting more of that coffee. That freshness of the coconut is started to sort of just dwindle, and that zestiness has dwindled. And now I'm getting a bit more of that coffee.
Yeah. For me, it was the coconut. Sometimes, some flavor are easy to find than others. But the more you try, the more flavor you're able to detect, really.
Yeah, it's really good. So just for you guys who may not have connected the two dots, Mad City obviously is the rum that we're trying tonight. But a few weeks back we tried the Hike Orange, and just in case you hadn't put the two together, it's the same company. And we tried the Orange Hike last time, and this is their rum, which we had to include because we were so blown away by the gin last time. So yeah, really good. That is the Mad City Botanical Rum, presented beautifully by Marco. Thank you very much. And also you had the Summer Solstice Serve, which was just in case you didn't get to make it. It is the vermouth, ice, lots of ice to the top of the glass. Add in a good measure of Mad City rum, top of ginger ale, a nice lime wheel, and you're good to go. Right? That's all it is. Very simple.
Simple as. Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
To the weekend.
Absolutely. To a long weekend. Very good. Marco, thanks for taking your time out with us this evening. And really appreciate taking us through and talking about the rum. It's been really nice.
Thank you so much. And well done for you guys for what you're doing here. It's a really good initiative.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Guys, that was Mad City Rum. Marco, thank you very much. Take care. Have a good weekend. And I'm sure I'll speak to you at some point very soon.
See you soon.
All right, mate. Take care. Thank you. So that was Mad City Rum, and our first white rum that we're trying tonight. So hopefully a lot of you have enjoyed it, and it's opened your eyes to what actually can be achieved with just a simple white rum. They don't have to be just for mixing. You know, if you find a really good product, they can work just as that one is, just a sipping rum or a really simple serve. So yeah, beautiful. Mad City Rum. We're going to move on. Hopefully we have the owner of our next rum here. So we've got Tidal Rum. This is our next rum we're going to. Tidal Rum, so bottle number 2. And this is a really, really interesting story. And a very, very unique one too. It's actually a slightly golden color, about 3 to 5 years old, but we'll probably get told exactly in a second. And it's really sort of part, you know, it's from Jersey, and all the story behind it, all the kind of the ingredients as well, and why it's been put together, really all come about from its sort of place in Jersey and its location. So hopefully we've got Harry who's here, and he's going to talk us through. Hey Harry, how are you?
Hi, yeah, very good, thanks. Very good. How's it going?
Yeah, good. Are you still on your phone, or did you?
Yeah, on the phone. The internet's gone a little bit dodgy, but all good. We got rum, so.
Okay. So with that said, I'm gonna let you talk about the rum, because I'm very aware that the internet is a bit dodgy. So let's jump into it and get as much as we can from you.
Yeah, and I'd advise everyone having a glass to kick things off. First, just straight up, and then maybe with a little bit of ice to open it up. But
Cool.
yeah, so Tidal was started by me and my friend Ben we launched in the summer of 2019 in Jersey and the Channel Islands. And what we wanted to do was basically slightly create a rum that fitted, I suppose, a counterpoint to the overly sweetened piratey style of rum. A rum that can fit as the first drink of the night. So it sits really nicely on restaurants, on menus of restaurants and coastal bars. There's a Tidal Fresh Lime Soda, which sits there as a gin and tonic alternative. Mm-hmm. But what we've created is a blend of 4 Caribbean aged rums to complement pepper dulse seaweed that we forage at low tide in Jersey. And pepper dulse is a botanical used by chefs both in the Channel Islands and all over the world, but in London as well. And it's known as the truffle of the seas. So it has an incredible marine truffly flavour, very Moorish. Mm-hmm. If you're out on the reef where we get it, you sort of end up eating a lot of it. But actually, as you were saying, it's reminiscent of the rums that we selected. So the Jamaican rums, they're all 3-year aged, but there's 4 Caribbean aged rums. The Jamaican pot still brings through some of those marine notes, as you were saying, because it's got a bit of a nice pong. And what we wanted to create is a real journey. So the 4 rums create that journey as you go through, and the pepper dulse complements it with a smooth finish. So, yeah, Tidal, and to go into the bottle, Tidal, because Jersey has some of the widest tidal ranges in the world, which opens up this 8-mile reef where we go down to get the dulse. The widest tides on full moon. So we just had a pink super moon. Don't know if anyone saw it.
Yeah.
But in the bottom,
we were cloudy here. We're very overcast here on that night.
Yeah. I think it was the night before. I think the 26th. It was pretty clear, and a lot of people got some really cool pictures. But yeah, in the bottle and the experience, we wanted to capture that sort of coastal British adventure side, and that's where it works really nicely. Yeah.
So you got the moons there, right? That's replicated on the bottle.
Yeah, with the idea, the moons pull the tide, and that side of it really resonates with a lot of people because it is just this incredible. Well, the moon, affects every aspect of everyone's life. A lot of people sleep a bit funny during the full moon. And this incredible natural phenomenon where this reef has opened up to 8 miles at low tide. And that's the best place. But it's almost like an otherworldly experience. Yeah. And the same with some of the sort of, I guess, adventures when we were young. But it's sort of inspired by, in the middle of the channel, there are the Minkies, which is a sandbank. And on certain tides, you can go out there in summer. And you've just got your own beach in the middle of the English Channel. And that really captures. Ben, my business partner's dad, when he was younger, flew over and mapped it out. And that really captures the tidal living. So he knows of secret locations where only he can go on his boat.
Amazing.
So yeah, that's the sort of, that's the overview. But yeah, I'll sort of, it's sort of, the ambition is to make rum, you know, really celebrate and appreciate it, rather than it be that last end of the night drink that a lot of people have, you know, memories of. So when we do tastings, it actually resonates a lot with the female audience as well, which dark spirits generally aren't as popular. But I've had sort of people go, you know, I don't drink rum, and then try this, and they'll take one away. So it resonates quite nicely with the gin and tonic set as that more refined spirit and more refined experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very fresh, right? It's almost like you are on that coast, because it's just so fresh.
Yeah, that's it. It's a sort of satisfying pop, and then that's what we sort of wanted to create. It's that reminiscent moment of sort of walking through rock pools. So it's got that marine edge to it as you breathe it in. But yeah, we went through a good, fun process of creating it, because Ben's one of my best friends, and we basically just went through about 50, 60 rums. We always loved rum, but we thought, let's create something a little bit different, something not overly masculine, that just sort of celebrates rum in a slightly different way. And that's what sort of worked really nicely so far.
So that pepper dulse, how is that used in the rum? Do you just steep and we'll distill it?
It's not distilled, because we take the base spirits, which are all aged. So if we were to run it through a still, we might lose some of that flavour. So what we do is a 48-hour infusion. Again, a real process we went through of taking the pepper dulse, some fresh, some we oak smoke, and a lot of that's done by Kaz, our forager, who's an incredible forager for all the best restaurants locally. And then it's a 48-hour infusion, which we then add to the blend.
Okay. It's really good.
Yeah, at some stage, definitely, you know, if you a chance to try pepper dulse in its rawest form is an incredible botanical. Like, a lot of seaweed's obviously a bit disgusting and quite sort of pongy. And this is just completely different, fresh marine earthy truffle.
And is it native to Jersey?
Native to Jersey, but also native to the UK coast, and it grows in the tidal zone, so on that edge above rock pools. The reason for Jersey is that with that wide range of tide, there's a lot more of a tidal zone, so there's a massive reef. The third widest tidal range is, and so it's foraged sustainably there, because there's more of it. Then if you think about some of the British coast, where it's just a very harsh decline, you know, quite to the seabed, there's wide reefs on the west side, which you can get down to, and it almost does feel, I think I sort of said, but it almost feels like another planet or like a moon when you're down there.
I can imagine. And how many sort of runs are you doing? What sort of batch size are you doing, and what batch are we on to?
We're on about, I mean, we started on very small batches, about a couple of hundred. We just did our biggest yet, which is about 7,000. So we had a big Christmas, and then we're sort of doing batches of a similar size each quarter.
Amazing.
But we've got other ambitions as well. We're creating like a pepper dulse bitters, because our best serve goes with Angostura, and we thought if we could create a bitters that celebrates pepper dulse, it's quite exciting for bartenders and just anyone really at home. And then big one for me is I want to sea age rum as well. So we've got these cool sites both in restaurants, and there are these little fishing huts out in the channel in the Equihose, which are incredible. If anyone's on Google, to just have a little look at the Equihose. They're little fishing huts out in the middle of the channel, which you can only reach. And we want to lay some barrels down there, which would be cool.
That'd be amazing. There was someone, I think, in whiskey doing some sea aging. I can't remember who it was, but I don't think it's quite a new concept.
Yeah, and almost just seeing, like, because I think like what the sort of saying that captures, I guess, tidal quite nicely is salted caramel. You know, not overly sweet, a bit of a sweetness there, but then that saltiness to it as well. And quite a few of our serves, very simple serves. We've got one which is just a double tidal, a drop of maple syrup and a pinch of sea salt over ice, and that's just like a really nice sort of easy way to drink it.
Yeah, and you've got that right on the nose. On the nose, it is, like I said, it sort of tells you it's going to be a sweeter style of rum. On the palate, it's a little bit different, but you are getting that. I'm getting like burnt orange, and I'm getting that lovely sort of salty caramel that you were talking about.
Yeah, so a dark chocolate type side.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really pleased with where we're at in terms of the flavour and the profile. And then, shall I show the drink, the Tidal Fresh Lime Soda?
Yeah. So guys, there is a serve which you can obviously do for later on, but this is the serve that Harry's going to show now.
Yeah, it's really straightforward. It is just a double measure of Tidal, half a lime squeezed, fresh lime. That has to be very important, not to be, when you ask for it, not to be cordial.
Yeah.
Because that goes against everything in terms of it being too sweet and sugary.
Yeah.
And then in terms of bitters, the bitters I have here are actually Bitter Union, which are quite nice, but just as a little bit of an edge. But I think I'd recommend Angostura bitters in general. And then a soda water, just a good soda.
Yeah.
And a dash of ginger ale is also quite nice. Not too much, because again, not too sweet.
Yeah.
But about 1/3 maybe. And then you've got that rum as that first refreshing first drink of the night.
Yeah, another good simple serve, but really, really fresh and coastal, right? Because you've got that lovely sort of soda water which is just nice and fresh.
Exactly, and letting the spirit sing rather than covering it up, which is really important to us. And so all the serves that we do are, really making sure that the profile of the rum really comes through.
Yeah,
and a lot of bartenders have a lot of fun in terms of taking that tidal sea edge British coast and adding their twist on it, which I love to see and enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, on the palate, as because I'm still sipping it neat, but I'm getting a bit of like first thing is obviously on the nose it seems quite sweet, but then on the palate it's nice and dry and it's like a proper rum, and then there's this like milk chocolate almost. I don't know if you've ever had that or if anyone's ever said it, but it's quite creamy almost. There is a bit of chocolate in there.
Yeah, people see a bit of a chocolatey orange actually.
Yeah, okay.
It's there, almost like a chocolatey edge to it. And that's sort of balanced out by the pepper dose and the marine side of that, so it doesn't become overpowering.
Yeah. Now there's something about oysters, right? There's something about oysters. Yeah. Is Jersey really famous for oysters, or?
The Jersey oyster is best oyster in the world. They farm them out again on the tidal zone. We've got a partnership with the guys at Jersey Oyster. So quite a few of the restaurants we do call serves like a tidal, whether it's a tidal martini or the tidal fresh lime soda, just with the best Jersey oysters. They create incredible oysters.
Really?
Yeah, and ambitions to do a lot more as things start to open up with them. Yeah. We're going to do sort of bits like the big food shows and that sort of thing, because it just fits so nicely, like fresh seafood, a tidal fresh lime soda. Yeah. I enjoyed one of our great venues on the coast in Brancaster, up in Norfolk. Enjoyed yesterday. I was there, and it's just an incredible venue right on the coast. The best, freshest fish. Yeah. Tidals, sun out, and that's the sort of tidal experience. But also works well as a sort of what we wanted to create is a drink that's almost reminiscent in an escapism type way. So almost taking you back to wherever you are. And that's the thing that we've sort of found good favour with.
I love it. It's a really interesting rum. Really interesting. Have you always been a rum fan then? You personally?
Yeah, me and Ben, we were at uni together, and we always enjoyed. But yeah, yeah, that was where the Tidal Fresh Lime Soda came from. So the idea is, it's quite a big drink in the Caribbean as a sort of, I guess, alternative to the punch and straight up.
Yeah.
But it is just, in the sun, fresh. But yeah, no, always loved it. I kind of enjoyed it, I suppose, in different ways, and that's loving sort of being a part of the rum community now, because it is a great, it's a really exciting time within it, and people seem just really, really engaged, and wanting to try it and looking for that slightly elevated experience within rum. Because you go to even good pubs and bars, and actually some of their rum choice is very limited, and actually so offering that, I guess, rum that allows people to have that sort of elevated rum experience is quite exciting to a lot of venues, where they can then put it on the similar area as a gin and tonic and really get people into the rum.
Yeah, and as a bottle, actually, also it's very different, right? As a rum bottle, it really stands out on the shelf.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we worked with a really cool designer. They're called Lewis Mobley, but also on the shelf or on the back bar, the label being the Tidal Rum, sticking a little bit above. There aren't that many that have that, so it's pleased with that as well.
And I see you've got a little dent in the bottom there, maybe to run a little lamp to make it a lampshade or a lamp.
Yeah, it works quite nicely with the idea that the moon pulls the tides, and then it's almost being pulled towards the moon. That was our And then we just got our new. This bottle doesn't actually have it, but on our latest batch, we got the barcode done. I don't know. Do you have that on your one? But the barcode.
I do. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Which is a bit of fun. But the icons on the back sort of tell the story nicely.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good. So there was one other question I had, which was, obviously you started in 2019, and part of the reason of showcasing British rums in particular tonight is that there's been a lot of talk for many, many years about, rum being the next kind of big thing. Have you noticed that trend, or is that the reason you started, or was it just because you just like rum and you felt that you want to be part of a new craft movement?
Yeah, I mean, we just did it because we thought we could create something fun and I guess is superior to what we saw in front of us, in my mind, and something that offers an alternative which resonates with people. Yeah, starting in 2019, I mean, we got that first summer, which was really cool.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of the festivals locally where we ran bars and just seeing people drink your rum en masse.
Yeah.
Good musicians like Lewis Capaldi played and that sort of thing. We had the closest bar to the stage. We built this sort of water wall, and just people en masse drinking Tidal was such a cool experience.
I can imagine,
and so we did quite a few festivals locally. That was sort of, I think, about 12,000 each day, which is incredible. And so keen to do more when we can and get
absolutely, back on that. Hopefully, if not this year, certainly towards the end of the year and next year, we'll definitely see some festivals, and I'm sure you'll be a roaring success.
Yeah, we kind of want to create a massive moon. I think that's the sort of the ambition for some of our festival bars, and always draw people in like that, which could create a really cool experience.
Yeah. So soda's a great serve. Does it work with anything else, like ginger ale, obviously?
Yeah, ginger ale. I think a daiquiri is brilliant. Works really nicely in an old fashioned. I think those are really the main ones. A Mai Tide is a great venue that Jersey does in Jersey, called Sands. They do a Mai Tide, which is a take on the Mai Tai.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, that's good.
There's a lot of sort of fun terms around the tide, which people can play with, like low tide, high tide, all of that sort of terminology. But yeah, I think a range of ways. A lot of people enjoy it how they like, but I think those are the main serves really that I enjoy.
Yeah. Well, Harry, thank you very much. Again, another fantastic rum. We're only 2 in. and this time I went for a golden one as the second one, so just comparing the difference between the two. And that is Tidal Rum from Jersey, and this is one of the owners, Harry, who joined us tonight. Thank you very much, Harry.
Great, thank you very much. Good to chat.
Yeah, good, and we'll let you know. We'll probably be ordering some more very soon.
Brilliant. All right, and I'll have to pop down sometime soon.
Definitely, come and see us anytime you want. Anytime you want.
Great. Cheers, man.
Good man. All right, Harry, thank you. So that's Tidal Rum. Another really good story, another really good rum. Like I said, this time we went for something, you know, started with a Blanco white rum, and then we moved to the golden rum, you know, 3 to 5 years in age. And now it's time to cleanse a palate again. So we're going with a really local producer, distiller to us. And hopefully he's joining us very soon. In fact, hopefully he's with us now. It's Alex. You would have known from a couple of other tastings we've done. We've done Griffiths Brothers gins before, who are based very local to us here in St Albans. And we're joined by Alex, who's going to take us through their new product, which is their rum, which is this one right here.
I'm not sure if he's back there yet, Jess. You told him 20 past 8. You were a little bit earlier, so he's not back on yet.
Well, shall I go on to my one then?
Yeah, you could do. You just let people know to switch it around. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So we're going to go to the wooden Mousse one. That's what we're going to do next. We're just going to switch it around again because we like to keep it fun. So the wooden Mousse. This one here, again, another local one to us here in St Albans. So this is actually distilled or made in Harpenden. So those of you that joined us for our slow gin or liqueur tasting, I think it was at Christmas time. There's a company here in Hertford called Copper in the Clouds, run by a guy called James, very young guy, doing some great things, some really crazy flavors. And he approached us a few weeks back and said he's just created a range of rums called Wooden Mousse. And so that's what we're going to try. I just should point out, if anyone has an allergy to a dairy allergy or a peanut allergy, then you might want to pass, because I've only just thought about this, but there is peanut butter in the rum. So if you have a nut allergy, then just consider that. But otherwise, for anyone else, you're good to go. So here we are. This is Wooden Mousse spiced rum, and already it's different because it's caramelized banana and peanut butter. So it's totally different. It's way out there. It's unrecognizable from anything else that you've ever tasted in your life or smelt in your life. And it really is a different rum. And James, Copper in the Clouds, like I said, if you know his brand, you know he does like some crazy flavors. So one of his gins is a mango and black pepper, I think it is. And he plays around a lot with his flavors. So this one we've chosen is the caramelized banana and peanut butter. So I'm just going to pour some into my glass, and I'd probably advise you do the same, and just let it you know, kind of aerate, get some oxygen into it, and let it open up a little bit. Miss Finger's just got a whiff. Whoa, it's quite something. Yeah. So it is caramelized banana and peanut butter. It is totally different. So I'll just tell you about the process. Like I said, he's based down here in in Hertford, in Hertfordshire. So he, very much like Mad City, he's buying Dominican rum. He's buying Barbados rum, which gives a light sort of that lightness to the blend. He's then got Jamaican rum, which is a little bit younger, has a bit more spikiness to it, a little bit sharper and punchier. And then he's got a Guyanese rum, which gives that lovely sort of sugary sweetness, that lovely sort of demerara brown sugar notes. And then he's blended them together. And then he's gone through a bit of a process. So he gets bananas, he gets brown sugar, and he basically cooks it down, right? Cooks it down, and he adds then some cream and some sugar and more sugar. And he almost turns it into like this salted caramel just before it sort of goes into that richness of toffee. He's keeping it as a almost like a salty caramel kind of texture. And then to that he adds peanut butter, right? So he's taking the peanut butter and he then hot infuses it. So he puts it in the still and brings it up to almost distillation point. So it's just about to distill, and then he shuts it down. So it doesn't quite distill. But he then it basically infuses, right? That heat, that hot infusion occurs. And then he keeps it for 30 days resting, right? And that allows the flavors to all marinate together and really kind of infuse. But for the first 14 days of that process, he's agitating it. So he's just stirring it up, giving it a mix. And then for the next 14 days, next 2 weeks, it just rests and sits there. And after that point, I imagine, you know, bits are going to rise. And so he'll then filter it and bottle it. And that's the product that you have here today. So that is the process. A little bit long to go through, but it's a really unique flavor. Now, it was actually Shane that told me that bananas and peanut butter is just is a good food combination. It's not one that has ever really appealed to me, but apparently I think it's quite an American thing. So on the nose, I'm getting peanut butter. I'm getting loads and loads of peanut butter, and then I'm getting that banana just in the background, that almost, you know, cooked banana. So let me know what you get. I'm getting that, right, and then I'm getting that lovely sort of caramel sweetness of those lovely sort of blend of rums in the background. So let's go. Let me know if you're getting more banana, if you're getting more of the peanut butter. Let me know. I'm definitely still getting that peanut butter. Like I said, that banana just kind of wafts behind that. Just comes through as a nice sort of touch of sweetness. Let's go for a taste. I think you need to let it really sit in your palate for a while, move it around, because there's so much going on, so much kind of unusual flavors going on. And you're getting that lovely sort of tingle of that lovely kind of Jamaican single pot rum, just giving a little bit of spice. And then that sweetness of the banana and that caramel. And then, you know, that nuttiness is there as well, that peanut butter. Miss Fingers, more of the peanut butter on the nose, but the taste lets the banana out. Yeah, you know what? I'm definitely getting more banana, and then now the peanut butter is at the back on the palate for me. That lovely sort of banana freshness comes through. Percentage-wise, 40%. So nothing too crazy, but really good. I'm actually really liking it. Actually, I didn't know if it'd be one for me, but I think it takes on such a journey with the different flavor profile. So it's really different. Yeah, really good. Okay, so let's pour some more into our glass, and we're going to add a Coca-Cola. So these range of rums, right? And I don't know, Shane might be able to put a comment in. The other flavors, there's 4 of them. I think there is a chipotle. Oh God, I can't remember the other flavors. They're equally out there, right? Very, very different flavors. But they're all designed to be drunk with Coke. They're all designed to be mixed because, you know, largely rum and Coke is still a very big drink. And so he wanted to go with something that was going to create a bit more flavor, but still, you know, seen as a classic serve. Al says works with the ginger ale as well, and I totally bet it does. It shows you, there you go, chipotle and cocoa and coffee. Chipotle, cocoa and coffee. Passion fruit and mango, which would have been a nice one to try. Haven't go, but still got the plum. yeah. We'll have to find a use for that plum, Al. But maybe go with the ginger ale, which is what Al did and says it works amazing. So I'm going to add a bit of Coke here and see how that works. And funny that peanut butter is still pushing through, still fighting. Lovely. This is why I wanted to finish this one at the end, because it has that sweetness to it. It almost feels like that dessert. But it's actually a lot going on. You got that Coke, and then all those other flavors, and like the Mad City, it's very long, so you're getting all these textures keep coming back, so different things coming through. Shane, what do you think? Have you added Coke? I really like it. Tom, I'm not sure on this one. The banana's a bit synthetic. Which one is daiquiri? Yeah, daiquiri. I think daiquiri will be really nice. Good shout. Very good shout. Yeah, I think you're right, actually, Tom. I think this is a daiquiri would be absolutely phenomenal. Oh, Shane, that's great there. Okay. Right. I think as a Coke, with rum and Coke, it works quite nicely. It's probably one of those ones that it's not a refreshing kind of start of the evening one. This is definitely one that you might have after a meal, that lovely sort of digestive kind of style. But yeah, let me know. Is this one for you? I need to actually ask him why wooden mousse. I'm not sure. But actually, as a rum, I think it's very good, neat. I think it'd be really good with ginger ale, and I think Tom's nailed it with a daiquiri. That would be absolutely amazing. Miss Finger says, "Yeah, I prefer this one neat." I agree. I think that's a good shout. But actually, really good, really good. And with the Coke, that peanut butter actually on the palate dies a little bit, and that lovely fresh banana comes through a little bit more. But lovely. That is our wooden mousse made by James, Copper in the Clouds, based in Hertford, down here right near us in St Albans, in Hertfordshire. And that is just one. But like I said, he's got three or four in the range, and they're definitely all worth a try. And they're all really different. So there's a place for every single one of them, I'm sure. But yeah, it's nice. It's good to have something different. It's good to try something different, and really see how interesting rums can be. So good. Low Tide is the cocktail with the maple. Okay. My sister wants to make flambe banana. Tom, yeah, all the ideas. Tom, you've got all the ideas. Love it. That would be amazing. Good. All right. So hopefully we could probably move on to our last one of the evening with Alex. Alex might be here now. That, like I said, was bottle number 4. Well, no, we're moving on to bottle number 4, but this was the wooden mousse. And
hi,
hey, Alex, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good. Sorry, you are the last one, but actually it's probably worked out quite nicely because
you saved the best till last.
Best till last, but also you can be our palate cleanser. Okay. You know, after the wooden mousse, big and rich, and now we've got this lovely little number here, 9 tails. So Alex, tell us about Griffiths Brothers first of all.
Yeah, so Griffiths Brothers, I started a distillery with my brother based in Penn Street in the Chiltern, so not far away from St Albans. We specialise in cold distilled gin, and we last year launched a range of rums. So 3 rums. one we're going to talk about tonight is a cold distilled white rum. We also do a cask aged rum and a black spiced rum. So, do you want me to say a little bit about the white spice?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Right. So, we've although we started with gin, we've always been really into rum. So, we were kind of looking for a time to bring out a rum, and we wanted to do something a little bit different, particularly with a white rum. So we've actually cold distilled the white rum in exactly the same way that we do with our gins. The actual base rum is from Foursquare Distillery in Ghana. It's derived from molasses, super smooth, slightly sweet. And what we did with white rum cocktails, we're particularly keen on. I love a daiquiri, love mojitos. So we basically just wanted to add in a few little extra flavors into the rum. Nothing too heavy, but flavors which complement those sort of cocktails. So the standout botanicals we've put in there are Persian lime, local honey that's from hives only about a mile away from our distillery, and ginger, and then just a very small amount of allspice in there. And it just adds that extra dimension to those white rum cocktails. I think our favorite cocktail that we like to make with it is a white Jamaican Mule. So 20 ml of lime, 10 ml of sugar syrup, and then ginger beer, 90 ml ginger beer with a double shot.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, that sounds really good. We've actually got some ginger beer, so after we've tried it and tasted it neat, maybe those of you that want to add ginger beer, ginger ale, rather, just to see how it mixes. But so this was designed to be a mixing rum, or you could sip it as well.
Yeah, so I definitely wanted it to be something that you can sip neat. The other thing that I forgot to mention actually is we've also added back, after we've distilled in the different botanicals, which we all do separately, we then add back a proportion of cask aged rum just to add that wood depth to the flavour. Only a very small amount, but it just adds another dimension to it. And if you see in the bottle, it makes it not completely clear. There's a slight colour to it.
Okay, yeah. And percentage-wise, you are at
42.
42, yeah, 42.
Yeah.
So the strongest one of the rums this evening, I think. I think so. Yeah, 40. Yeah. So a slightly higher ABV than the others. Yeah, really good nose, right? So I was really struggling because I get that spice, but then I was also getting like this freshness. Is almost like fresh herby, kind of minty, coriander. You know what I mean? Like that kind of I don't know what it was, but it's very herby and fresh.
Yeah, and you really get the honey smell coming off it as well.
Adding that sweetness, yeah. Let's go for a taste. Let's go for a taste if you haven't already. Wow, that's really nice. You're getting that lovely ginger, spice. Get that sweetness of the honey as well, and that lime really just makes it all fresh. It's really good, really good. So you've only used one type of rum, because a lot of the others we had have used different blends of different islands.
Yeah.
You've just gone with one.
No,
Right,
just
rum.
with one.
Yeah.
So this is, you know, there are a number, and I think you've had on tonight. There's definitely people investigating sort of botanical rum, but I think sometimes less is best. I think throwing in too many flavors is not necessarily the best thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's got that lovely, like I said, it just cleanses a palate after, you know, the richness of the wooden mousse banana one, peanut butter one that we tried. And this cold distilling, right? This is something that you do in your gin. It's part of your distillery process.
So we basically use rotary evaporators, and we've got the largest one in the UK, actually, at 100 litres, and it enables us to distill stuff without using any heat. So we try and capture the more natural flavour notes. Yep. So if you think of lime, if you boiled up a lime, you'd get more of a marmalade sort of flavour. So we're just trying to capture the more fresher flavours. And particularly for things like honey, you get the more subtle flavour notes in there.
Yeah, yeah. I've added the ginger ale to mine. So guys, if you want to add something to it, then add the ginger ale. But I really noticed that lime picks up.
Yeah.
When I've added the ginger ale, I don't. For me, that freshness really comes through. Yeah, really nice. So, so tell me, why Nine Tails?
So Nine Tails, yeah, it's just, you know, a little nod to pirates. So Cat o' Nine Tails. And yeah, we went for that sort of look. And if you see on the top of the bottle, we've got a picture of an angry cat. So
yes, see that? Yeah,
yeah, we wanted to try and make the brand stand out more than just having, say, a Griffiths Brothers rum. So we wanted to go for a different name and quite liked it. And we went for a tall bottle.
Yeah.
You know, I think sort of rum bottles are kind of split between small and large. You tend to get more smaller ones over here, but you know, out in the Caribbean, you definitely have more tall bottles and short ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we liked the taller bottle.
Yeah, it's lovely, and it's very different to the rest of your bottles, you know, from your other gins and so on. Yeah. So, and when did this come out? When did you release this?
So we released it in November last year.
November last year. Okay. All right. And you've got the three, right? You've got the three different ones.
Yeah.
In the
so
range.
We've got the cask age one. We've literally just used virgin American oak casks, which we imported and had charred to a certain specification, and we've just let that sit in there for 8 months.
Okay.
We've added no other colouring, sweetener, so it's just as it comes, which is really nice. It's because it's a virgin cask. It's quite smoky, quite oak. But it just finishes on really nice sort of caramel, dried fruit finish.
Yeah.
And then the dark spice, we've used that same cask age rum, and then we've compounded spices just in that old-fashioned way, literally in a big linen basket in the tank. And again, because we're not using artificial flavorings, and so many of the rums are just using flavorings, and you can spot them a mile away. Yeah. So when you actually taste a rum that has proper spice, you know straight away from the different flavor notes. So that was something we were really keen to do. And that again has a kind of, we have a secret mix of spice in there, but up to 15 spices and herbs.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, so I was going to ask, is it a different mix of spices to this one? So you've created your own spice range.
This one's just a little bit of extra something in there, like I say, just to kind of enhance those cocktails a little bit. We just wanted something quite subtle.
Yeah. So this work is a really good mojito as well then. Just nice, clean, crisp. And then
that's exactly what we had in mind.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. Okay, so what made you choose rum, right? Because obviously when we met you, it was all gin, and then you had the vodka. And so what inspired the rum? Was it something you saw?
Do you know what? We've always, to be honest, I've probably been more of a rum drinker than a gin drinker.
Mm-hmm.
So we started with rum, but I've always started with gin, but I've always been into rum. And it's kind of, we've been going along, and it's kind of a natural progression to us that we wanted to bring other spirits into our range, and it's what we like the most. So rum was definitely the next thing. We do plan next year we're going to reinvest, and we're actually going to buy some equipment, so we're going to be making rum from scratch.
Amazing.
So we're kind of working on that and trialing stuff at the moment.
Okay, that's very interesting. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, so that'd be great, because then there's a little bit of you've actually created that whole product.
Yeah, so we definitely want to do it from scratch. We're also actually at the same time we're gonna start making some grain to glass gin and vodka as well.
Wow.
So we're going to do the whole lot.
Good.
And also some whiskey.
Oh, I'm loving that. So we might be too advanced for what I'm about to say, and I don't know if you know this yet, but we're actually going to be doing, and this is for our audience at home, right? So because Griffiths Brothers have gin, they've got vodka, they've got rum, and they're all really interesting products. They've got great flavors, great range. What we'd actually arranged to do was a Griffiths Brothers portfolio tasting, right? Did you know about this, Alex?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. You didn't know, yeah. So we wanted to announce it tonight. We haven't actually got the date yet because we need to work one out. But the plan is to work through some of the gin, try the vodka, try a couple of the different rums, and just show the ethos of Griffiths Brothers, what all the stuff you're doing, and show some of your portfolio to our customers. What do you think? Good idea?
Be great.
Yeah. Okay, good. So we'll have to work on a date.
That'd be
let
good.
us know what works for you, and we'll put it in the diary.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Good. So thanks for that. So that is the Nine Tails rum from Griffiths Brothers, and we've been joined by Alex Griffiths tonight, one of the brothers. And thank you for that, Alex. It's been really good.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. So guys, that was our Griffiths Brothers. Alex, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Cheers, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Take care. So that is our Griffiths Brothers. As I said, we're going to be doing that portfolio tasting very soon. Shane's probably going to join me right now. Thanks, Shane.
Yep.
Did you try any tonight?
So I've been through two. I've kept it back a little bit because I'm still going to go to the gym, so I can't have too much alcohol before going to the gym.
Okay.
So but yeah, I've tried some of the Nine Tails, and I gave that peanut butter a go because I think I was a little bit short of it the first time I tried it, and I like it. I think I'd definitely be more keen in like an old fashioned or in a cocktail environment rather than neat.
Yeah.
On that one, but the Nine Tails is really surprising. That's really, really good. But to be fair, all of them are really nice. Even including Man City, which is quite unique as well as a style.
I think the thing is you got you know, with this one, we had 2 white rums, so really different, and showcasing how different white rum can be, right? It's not just white rum is white rum. These are really different. And then we had a nice aged one from Tidal, which really played on that provenance and Jersey and coastal and fresh. And then something, you know, just way out there with the banana and peanut butter, just again showcasing what you can do with rum. But really interesting, because a lot of them, you know, 3 of these distilleries that we tried tonight all started with gin, and now all moving into rum.
Yeah, you know? I mean, like you said, I can't remember the last. The last time I went to that Spirit Summit was, I think, 2016 or something like that, or 17, when they constantly kept saying that rum was going to have the next big boom, and it was hard to see it because, you know, gin being so vast and rum's pretty much tasting all the same. It's hard to say how it would do it, but there has definitely been a surge in rum in the last year. We've seen an uptake on sales, and like you said, especially with if you hold the Nine Tails and the Mad City side by side, compared to what you expect a straight white rum to be, like if you had bought a Bacardi with completely no flavour, these are a step in another direction, which will probably bring that new sort of market base, I think. Because you're offering more depth of flavour. That's what people are after. They don't want something that's going to taste the same, and that's what they get in gin. You open a gin compared to another one, there's a complete difference between those flavours. You need that same thing to happen with rum for the same boom to happen. And what's funny is it's happening within the UK. This isn't rums that are coming over. It's people taking the rums from the Caribbean and then adding their take and making it better. So that's what's creating that market.
But I think we're also going to see, like even Griffin's Rum said, you know, we're going to start seeing more UK distilled rums. And, you know, we said from the start that we'll do this tasting and then we'll do a tasting with rums distilled in the UK. That'll be our next.
That's right. Yeah.
What, you know, one of our next rum tastings that we're going to do, just to showcase how different.
I think once they see more and more of the market space being filled up and more demand, I think people are willing to put more money into getting that done. I think at the moment it's quite an expensive thing to set up, with, I guess, a little bit of a risk as to how popular it'll be in the market. Now I think they can see that shifting. People are more and more willing to put their money in, you know, like the Griffin brothers doing. They can now see the market's there, so they'll put that money into it. Yeah.
So look, everyone, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us this Friday night. We're going to leave you be and enjoy the rest of your long weekend. Shane also needs to get to the gym, so you're looking a bit thin there, Shane.
I know. I'm wasting away.
And also thanks to Marco, thanks to Harry, thanks to Alex, thanks to James, who couldn't make it tonight, but definitely represented with his rum. So thank you guys, and thanks all of you for joining us tonight.
Just remember as well about the discount as well. So anyone that wants any bottles from tonight's tasting, you've got your tasting card there, 15% off. With the rums obviously not being on our site because it's mainly a gin site, just drop us an email or a DM and we'll put those, we'll get the bottles in for you and let you know when they're in to collect, or we can get them sent out by post.
So you can deliver.
Yeah. Cool.
Absolutely. We've got 2 whiskey tastings coming up. We've got Waterford and another Irish. So we've got 2 Irish whiskey tastings coming up. We've also got a Balvenie in the pipeline. We've got the Griffin brothers that we're going to be doing very soon. And what else have we got?
So we've got another gin one that will be coming out. That'll be probably launched at the end of the next gin tasting. So there'll be another one. And then, the 2 whiskey ones and possibly that third one. We're just waiting for that to confirm in.
Yeah, great. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and actually, you know, I should mention, because I saw it in the comments, Anthony said this one with cream soda. And I think that is going to be a really good serve. I can see that working really nicely. Yeah,
that could work.
But I'm still going with Tom Bollen. I'm going to go and make this and turn it into a daiquiri. This one tonight with a daiquiri.
That'll work nicely with daiquiri, I think. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm doing that. But guys, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us, Shane. Have a good weekend.
Have a great evening, guys.
If you want to see me in the shop tomorrow, I'll be in the shop. So if you're bored and you want a sample of something, then come and see me.
Keep him busy. The weather's not good tomorrow, so I'm guessing it's going to be a little bit quieter in town. But there's plenty of samples there and some rum. And actually, if you are local, we do have a couple of samples of the other Griffiths Brothers rums. Which just will open up if you want to pop past and have a try.
Yeah.
But see you later, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Cheers. Take care. Good night.